What is going on, you guys? Machete Slash here, and today, bringing you guys a new video. This is going to be a Child's Play movie review. The new Child's Play remake. I'm gonna start off with a little bit, non-spoiler section, and then go on to spoilers. I mean, I'm not gonna be, going through the whole movie chronologically. I'll just go through it, I guess, semi-chronologically, just mention random moments of the film and just things like that. So yeah, okay, my first thoughts about this movie before watching it was it was gonna be a okay movie, because I feel like after it came out, now technically that wasn't a remake, but I feel like after that came out, it was a really good movie, made a lot of money, and I feel like these other remakes that are coming out or being planned to come out are also gonna try to do what it did and maybe do it better than what came before, or maybe just be its own thing but also be really good. This movie, on the other hand, this movie is actually its own thing. It's very different compared to the original. Chucky is an AI, and the whole premise, I guess, is instead of Chucky wanting to possess Andy, he's just trying to have fun with him. But if someone's interfering with that fun, and they're not letting him have fun, or they're hurting him or something, that whoever did that has to go. Yeah, that's his mentality, basically. And yeah, I think it was a pretty bad idea at first, and I read a couple articles before watching it, and then I watched it. After that, I started to think, well, yeah, this is not a really bad movie. It's actually pretty good. But it was not really shocking, but a little I'm not sure how to explain it, but the movie had mixed of genres. So it was pretty humorous a couple of times. It was scary sometimes, sad, and stuff like that. Same thing like it was scary, it was funny, and it was sad. Now, it doesn't take itself as serious as the original, but I'll just start doing spoilers. As of right now, we are going 3 minutes in. I'll start spoiling it now. So, Chucky in this movie is an AI, and his whole backstory in the original is that he wants to. So he's getting chased down by some cops. He gets killed, and before he dies, he possesses a good guy doll. Now the whole movie is trying to get out of that body, and while he's in that body, he kills whoever let him die or killed him, like Mike Norris. In this one, his backstory is completely different. Some homeless poor guy, I guess, was working at one of the Kazan factories, but obviously wasn't getting treated well and stuff like that. Now while that was happening, instead of working on the doll how it's supposed to be, he starts to mess it up, basically taking off all the safety protocols. Now what I like to think about this guy, because right after this he kills himself, I feel like he could be Charles Lee Ray. I feel like he has murderous intents, and he possibly has killed people before, but I like to think that this guy is Charles Lee Ray, and like I said, has murderous intents. So instead of facing those consequences for doing those things, he wants to make this doll do all that stuff. He doesn't have anybody in particular that he wants to kill. He just wants to kill people. So he makes that doll kill people, or at least have the mentality to kill people. And Chucky ends up killing people. Now, one disappointment I have with this movie is the whole reason why his name is Chucky. Instead of the buddy doll being named already Chucky, or Andy naming him Chucky, it's just like a joke basically. Instead of, yeah, like I said, like now when Andy first gets the doll and they're telling him, the buddy doll is telling him to name him, he says Han Solo. Funny thing, Mark Hamill, which is the voice of Chucky in this movie, I believe plays Luke Skywalker. But the buddy doll just says Chucky, yeah, sure. So that's one disappointment, that there's no like backstory or anything to the name Chucky. It's not that the guy that, like, I guess I could say hacked into it, not really, messed it up, I don't know. Maybe he changed it so the name was Chucky or anything like that. No, it's just that he says Chucky, yeah, sure. That's one disappointment I have with this movie. Now the acting was okay in this movie. It was alright. The kid that plays Andy was pretty good. His mom, Aubrey Plaza, I'm not sure what her name is. I don't know if it's Audrey, I'm not sure. But she did a pretty good job. Yeah, Aubrey Plaza, not Audrey. Okay, she did a pretty good job, and she's a very different character in this movie than the original. Instead of being like a single mom, and we don't really know what happened to the dad, and it's implied in the original that his dad died. And this one it's implied that his dad left him. So Andy's mom, Karen, she like drinks, has a boyfriend, and it's just not really a good person. Oops, phone ringing in the background. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure that's silent, because who knows if they could call again. Okay. Yeah, back to what I was saying. She's a very different character, and she doesn't really have an arc at the end. Well, at least I don't see it, but whatever. Yeah, she was definitely one of the best performances in this whole movie. Now, I want to talk about the kills in this movie and then the soundtrack. Now, the kills, they were all pretty inventive, because if Chucky is an AI... No, here's the thing. The movie starts with a Kazan ad for the Buddy doll. And it clearly mentions, like, on purpose mentions that it can control, like, your other Kazan devices. Like, it lower the thermostat, make it higher, and stuff like that. Now, at first I thought, okay, like, a lot of the kills, most of them are gonna be this same thing. He's gonna, like, mess with another device, and that's gonna kill the person. Not really. He controls a car to crash with one of the characters in it, and then stabs that person, which I believe is Detective Mike's mom. Not sure what her name is, but she's just an old lady, basically. And when he kills the boyfriend jerk guy, I don't think he messes with any Kazan devices. He just, like, lawnmowers his head and then cuts his face off. Now, one thing I also realized is that Chucky in this movie learns, like, when he sees something violent or sees someone doing something violent, or, yeah, basically seeing something violent, he learns from that and decides to use that for his next kill, or whatever you want to call it. Now, one time in the movie, they watch, or obviously one time, but some part of the movie, the kids are watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And that's how he gets the idea to cut someone's face off, because he sees Leatherface cutting the guy's face off and, like, putting it on stretch or whatever. So, yeah, when he kills the boyfriend guy, after he lawnmowers his head, he cuts his face off. So that's one thing. I believe when the other group of kids find him and, like, are messing with him, they make him, like, stab, like, another toy or something like that. And it's just not good. Actually, no. Look. The kills... One of the kills is that he messes with, like, with the thermostat, and there's a pipe that someone's holding on to. So he messes with the thermostat to make it really hot, so that person will let go of it. And that person falls on this buzzsaw, and that guy is the creep trash guy that worked at the apartment, I guess. I think he's the manager, because somehow he's able to get all these cameras inside people's houses. Maybe he just visits, and while they're not looking, he starts to like add cameras. He's basically the creep. Yeah, he after the kids beat up Chucky the first time, they end up like destroying him basically. He like they throw him away in the trash. He finds him, puts him back together with new compartments and everything. Then he kills him. Yeah, a lot of the kills were inventive, so, and they were pretty graphic too. That's why it's rated R. Besides the cursing and stuff like that, but there's a lot of blood and gore. Now it's sort of body horror, but it's mostly just stabs and to end people off. But yeah, like I said, if someone's not letting Andy have fun, then he kills them. But the creep guy wasn't doing anything besides putting cameras in people's houses and looking at them, undressed and stuff like that. Now, obviously that's something bad. Like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't, like, put cameras in people's houses and watch them, like, in their private, like, time, I guess. But yeah, he does that. He dies. He didn't really do anything besides, like, maybe he kills him for having cameras in, like, Andy's, like, bathroom, watching his mom get undressed or whatever. Yeah, whatever. The whole reason he kills the old lady is because she says, "Oh, me and Andy are best friends." And the whole reason she says that is because after they find, like, the skinned face of the boyfriend guy, they end up wrapping it up in, wrapping paper. And then it looks like a present. So they deliver it to the old lady, as a lie. And, when Mike Norris, realizes it, she's like, "Oh yeah, me and Andy are best friends, he gave me this gift." Chucky does not like that, she kills him. Or, he kills her. Yeah. Let's see, we got 3. Okay. Yeah, what else? Okay, the soundtrack. Now, there is an official theme for this movie, but it's not even present during this whole movie. Or at least I don't think it is. Maybe sometime in the credits it is, but I never see it in the film, or hear it at least. There is a different, like, music thing where, when the guy's, like, messing with the Buddy doll. Yeah, that theme is pretty good. But okay, the official theme is, like, kind of updated version of the original theme. It's kind of like higher notes, and I don't like it as much as the original. The original is definitely better. This one has higher notes, and I don't like it that much. Maybe like a lower note would be better, like way lower, like a dong instead of a ding. But yeah. Different parts of this movie's soundtrack is pretty good. Let's see. What else can we talk about? The ending. The ending of this movie is just kind of confusing to me. People have, like, made ending explain videos, which I haven't really watched, but the ending of this movie, there's, like, a lot of people at Karen's workplace, or store she works at, because the Buddy 2's coming out, and people are wanting to buy it, so they're there. Now, Chucky messes with the whole store, basically, and puts it on lockdown, turns the lights off, sends out drones with the Kaizen drones with, like, X-Acto blades on the propellers to cut people up. The mascot guy, which kind of reminds me of the mascot guy from the original, he gets, like, his throat slit, kind of, or, like, part of his neck, which then, when he falls on the ground and spits blood everywhere, it goes all over this little girl. Yeah. The drone thing reminds me of Child's Play 3 when he puts real bullets into the paintball guns. So that's him messing with other things, Yeah. In the end, Mike ends up saving the day by shooting Chucky, and then the kids like destroy him like with bats and like hammers and stuff like that, destroying him and burning him. Also, I have to mention, yeah, Karen almost dies. Somehow doesn't die. Chucky ties her up to like this forklift, but then he cuts it. Yeah, so he does that. Chucky jumps at Andy. Mike shoots him, saves the day. That's basically the whole movie. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, tell me in the comment section if you like this movie. And yeah, it's been Machete Slasher, and I'm out. Peace.